So I've joined one piece and I need to put more tape down this side to put the seam in place that makes it one whole piece. So make sure that you've got your other seam underneath. So mine's here, because you don't want to find you've put it together and then you've suddenly got a seam on the outside of your box. There we go. Now, in case you're wondering, I'm using a 270 GSM card for this. It came from a German company that supplies Aldi and Lidl. And in fact, I can't remember which one I got it from, but their card that they sell is the same stuff, whichever shop you get it in from that point of view. I find it cuts really, really nicely, and it's quite a sturdy card, so that's quite a good one to use. I don't have any card that's any thicker than that, so I can't use anything heavier. But there's basically the tube part of the box. Now in the file I've cut two different sizes, or I've put two different sizes of ends. This one is for the base and it has a narrower edge. The other one, and I've done this one in black so it stands out anyway, is a deeper edge. So this has got tabs and you literally just put the tabs together to make nice neat corners. Now, one word on scoring of this. The way I score my card with my silver bullet is that I put, I can't see it, here it is. I have an empty pen which was designed for the Silhouette Cameo, and I've got it left over from those days. But it happens to fit the silver bullet holder quite nicely, and I find that using a pen gives me a reasonable score. Now for most cases it does. When I'm doing boxes, what I like to do is use this at the same pressure that I do my cut, and then if it needs any definition after that I just go over it manually with a tool like this. These are designed for nail art, I believe, but I use them for scoring and various other craft things, just to give you a stronger score. I don't use the blade for scoring when I'm doing boxes. I don't like using a blade for scoring because it breaks the card, it weakens it, and I think this way of doing it is a lot better. But you do need to make sure your card is well scored, and it makes sense to do that because it makes putting it together so much easier. I want to put on my little decorations. I did cut out some very basic ones to go on the lid and on the base. So I cut them in the alternate colour and I'll stick those on and then put the lid together. Alright, so I've now got my lid made, and normally you would leave this to dry. If you're using a wet glue, leave it to dry for a little while. But I've basically got it made and decorated, very basic decoration on there. And what we need to do now is to put that inside there. Put a little glue. This is a fast drying wood glue I've used because I find that's quite a good one for card. And first of all, I am just going to do 4 sides. So I'm then going to sort of concertina this up a little bit and allow it to spring against the side. And those 4 sides can be pressed into place. So those were the ones with the glue on, and these are the ones that haven't. So just hold that back and then put the glue on your other edges. So now you can bring the other sides out and literally just allow them to pop out into place, and you can press your sides and your base together, pressing all the sides down that you've just done. And there you have your basic box. Right, this is what I've done to the inside the box. I don't know if you can see, but I've put a strip of card around the top just to give it a little bit more substance, because my card is relatively thin for box making. So now that the main part of the box is done and I've put a bow around it and it's looking quite nice, I made the lid up. Now I've since adjusted the file because I discovered there were a couple of little problems. The first lid that I made was a little bit too tight, so I made it a little bit bigger, then it was a little bit too loose, and then I made this one and the size was just right. It's a bit like Three Little Bears, isn't it? However, I found that unfortunately the nice decorative scalloping that I put here kind of interfered with closing the box. It tended to get caught. So I've adjusted the file again and I've come up with a less severe form of scalloping around the edge, which shouldn't have that problem. I'm going to use that is some double-sided tape, and the way to do that is to put it along the line that is scissors along the line that is folded, and then to trim it to the edge.